Hello and thank you for joining me for your daily reading. So today we're taking a look at doing a read all about how you can take back your power. Now you can already tell by that particular title as to whether or not this is going to be your reading today, okay? As always, you've got to use your own discernment, all right? Never force fit a reading into your own situation, okay? Right, so how you can take back your power. Let's take a look. I'm just going to shuffle this deck a minute, and then I'm going to cut the deck and start pulling for you. Okay. Right, so something that you need to acknowledge that you're unable to change in your life. That's the Nine of Wands. How you can take back your power again in your life in spite of the things that you cannot change. That's the Sun. How you can use the challenges in your life to your own advantage. That's the Queen of Pentacles or the Queen of Coins. What you need to give up in order to gain something new in return. We're going to leave that one face down for a minute. How you can make the most out of what is happening in your life. And words of encouragement there from Spirit, from your spirit guides, from the universe. We're leaving these ones a mystery just for the minute. Current overall energy, the Five of Cups. Yeah, of course. So you all know what the Five of Cups is, right? It's not feeling great, not feeling optimistic. It's kind of like a helpless surrender almost. Definitely regrets come with the Five of Cups, right? It is feeling powerless in a lot of ways because it's attached to your emotions and emotionally not doing good at all. Borderline depression basically with the Five of Cups, and hidden underneath that one is actually the Five of Wands as well, which is trials of strength, it's struggles, it's constantly feeling like you have to prove yourself, or someone else could be making you feel like you constantly have to prove yourself, you know. And then with the combination of these two as being your current overall energy, it's literally you feeling like you're not getting anywhere. You feeling like you're not achieving anything, you know, on this treadmill, basically, that's never ending. So that's the current overall energy. Again, not great. It is what it is, right? Your Nine of Wands, now that's something that you need to acknowledge that you're unable to change in your life. And it is a bit of an odd one, this one, because the Nine of Wands traditionally is about having boundaries, and you absolutely can change up your boundaries, right? So I don't feel that that's what this message is about, right? Now you can see that this card, like, the cat in that card is soaking wet. And anyone who's owned cats will tell you most cats don't like water. Most cats hate water. Unless they're like a Maine Coon or something, they're all right with it. Love it, in fact. But the vast majority of cats, they don't like getting wet. Okay, it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel vulnerable. And whenever a cat feels vulnerable, that's usually when they strike out. It's usually when they lose their shit, right? So this cat, he's wet, he's miserable. And it's saying that, do you know what? Some days are going to be bad. Some days are going to be dark, dreary, awful. But there's also flowers in this card, okay? So that rain that cat doesn't like is actually necessary for growth. It's necessary for life to grow and blossom, okay? That's a really powerful metaphor for your emotions, because it's rain, it's water. It's about your emotions. So you are going to be struggling with some emotions that you don't like. But they're saying all emotions are actually necessary for growth. Okay. Now, you've got the symbol of a robin, just in the corner there. And robins, because I'm in the UK, and you know, the type of culture that I'm from, I can only read from my own culture. So definitely do your own research into what that robin means specifically for your own culture, because you might come back with a different message than the one that I'm about to give you, okay? But the culture that I'm from, they say whenever you see a robin, it means that past loved ones are near, that they're visiting you, they're watching you. So there is grief attached to this overall message, and it's tied in with something that you're unable to change. So maybe someone here is struggling with coming to terms with losing somebody. You know, someone's left the physical world, and you could be struggling to come to terms with that, and Spirit's saying you're not able to change that. Okay, you're not able to reach out and grab them back into the physical realm. Okay, that's not within your control. What is within your control, though, is how you handle this storm of emotions, okay? That is within your control. And you've also got the butterfly. Now, I do appreciate that in this particular deck, butterflies are just as prevalent as the cards on the card. The cats on the card, because you know, it's a cat-based deck, and they've put loads of butterflies throughout the entire deck, right? But that doesn't mean to say that the symbols should be ignored just because they show up frequently. Okay, again, there could be another message there for someone. You could be seeing a lot of symbology in your day-to-day life, you know, and Spirit's saying don't ignore the symbols that we're sending you. Don't ignore the signs that we're sending you. Just because they're frequent signs, it doesn't mean that you should just sort of, you know, brush it off like it's nothing. It's still meaningful. It still means something. And so with the symbol of the butterfly, you're being told you're not going to feel this way forever. Okay? You're not going to feel this way forever. There's also a message about the challenges in life. With they kind of look like dormant volcanoes more than anything else. So it's a symbol for the challenges in life. Okay, certain challenges in life are outside of your control, and it's just a matter of getting through as best you can without losing control of self. Okay, how you can take back your power in your life in spite of life's challenges and things that you can't control. It's the sun. Optimism, joy, abundance, and a lot of growth. And in this particular card, there's loads of doves, which would be a symbol of peace, more specifically inner peace. Okay. So Spirit's saying for you to work on your inner peace first, and then you can help contribute to the peace externally, the peace for the rest of the world. Okay. This is indicating that your mindset is everything. And you would have heard me say before a few times, look, you can't think your way to success, right? It doesn't really work that way. You can't just think your way to happiness. It's something that takes work. Success takes work. Happiness takes work. So maybe consider what is your version of happiness? What is your version of peace? And start working towards that. Okay. Because the sun, it is about self, it is main concerns, it is the source of energy, it is about your self-esteem and your energy levels and your outlook. It's about all of that. but it's also about action because it's fire energy. Okay. So there are certain things that are within your control, abso-friggin-lutely, and the focus, the emphasis needs to be on self. Now that's not to say free pass everyone go be a narcissistic twat, right? It's not that at all. It's all about your own perception, your own outlook. Okay, it's all about taking care of self, making sure that you're giving yourself the best chance possible to create happiness in your life. Happiness is not something that you find, it's something that you create. Okay, this also indicates a triumph and joy and pleasure, enjoying the pleasures in life. Okay, it's keeping that good, positive outlook without the toxic positivity. So at the moment, we've got this dark energy hanging over you. It's going to be really difficult to change your mindset out of that, right? And for some, not everyone, but for some, and it sounds like a strange thing to say, for some people they're afraid to be happy. Because there's this fear that if they are happy, it's just going to get snatched away. Now, Spirit's reminding you that just because that can happen, it doesn't mean to say that it absolutely will happen. Because life happens. Life is changing and evolving constantly. Yeah? And there are going to be things that are painful. There will be. But to basically sit in this energy up here, that's not going to be a productive use of your time or of your energy. In fact, honoring how you feel here and starting to process everything, that is going to be the best path forward here, rather than staying stuck in this Five of Cups, Five of Wands place. Okay. Your perspective is absolutely key. Now, moving on to how you can use the challenges in your life to your own advantage. This one is the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Coins. Again, another message of abundance and fertility as well. Okay. They're saying here that there are ways of which you can actually turn situations to your advantage with effort and with thought behind it. Okay. Now, your Queen of Coins is an energy of long-term stability, security, abundance, growth. It really does work hand in hand with that sun. Okay, because the Queen of Coins is very much focused on planting seeds, and then the energy of the sun helps those seeds to grow. So I feel that the message here is about how you can co-create with the universe on how to get out of life what you feel you're needing out of life. Okay. The Queen of Coins can be an individual who is self-made, self-employed. It's someone who really does put all of the effort behind everything that they do. It's someone who is driven to succeed and definitely does have a long-term plan. They like to think ahead. Okay. So there is a message here about how you are needing to come up with some kind of plan and think ahead. And then when it comes down to your emotions, take each day as it comes. Right? So you've got the practical side here with the Sun and the Queen of Pentacles, and then you've got the emotional side here with these three cards. Okay? There is also the message, a little bit of fake it till you make it. For some that might work. Okay, for others not so much, but for some, fake it till you make it. Taking all of these setbacks, these knockbacks, and really analysing not so much why it's happened, but more of what you can do about it. Okay, because you're being redirected here towards doing something practical with this Pentacles energy. Do something practical about your situation. How can you help yourself? How you can uplift yourself. Okay. What you're needing to give up, what is it you're needing to surrender in order to receive something new in return? The Queen of Wands. Interesting. Queen of Wands. It's a very fiery, passionate energy. But with that being something that you need to surrender, something you need to give up, that would be akin to it coming out in the reversed position. I feel that there's self-blame here, because your Queen of Wands is a very magnetic energy. Really magnetic energy. So there could have been a message here that you took on about how it takes one to know one type thing. Almost like a victim blaming. They're saying for you not to play into that victim blaming with the message of the magnets. If there's any jealousy, if there's any, because again it's wands, if there's any anger towards anyone else, then it's going to be time for you to surrender that. Okay. Any sort of pangs of envy, anything like that, it needs to be released. And that could also be a message of vengeance or revenge as well. So they're saying to surrender feelings of revenge, because ultimately that's going to be keeping you in that dark emotional place as well. Okay, but it's under there, the Emperor and the World. Yeah. It's taking charge and ending the cycles. Leaning more into your internal divine masculine energy, which is the state of doing. Okay. Yeah, so Spirit's definitely telling you that now is the moment for you to get practical and to be realistic with this situation. They're saying it's time for you to get to work. But that's not to encourage anybody to ignore their feelings either, okay? You've absolutely got to acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge where they've come from. But also you to acknowledge the danger of what holding on to those feelings could do to you. It could well turn you into someone who is very revengeful. Okay. How you can make the most out of what is happening in your life, the Hanged Man. Yeah, taking another look, taking a closer look. Just analysing that card. So there's a raven there is biting this poor wee cat's tail. And the fact that there's a caterpillar just there. The raven could eat the caterpillar, but instead it's chosen to go for that tail. I mean, is that a case of mistaken identity? It feels like it could well be a case of mistaken identity here. So, has somebody potentially blamed you somehow for all of their problems, for all of their issues in life? Because I'm getting that message through as well. And if that is the case, then you can remind yourself of what this person's actually doing with that message of mistaken identity. It's time here for you to really look at the situation that you're in differently than how you have been looking at it. I'm going to have to clarify that, Hanged Man, because there's definitely another message there that's wanting to come through. Can you tell us more about this Hanged Man and how our collective can make the most out of what's happening in their lives, please? The Hierophant off center. Doing something differently. Do something differently. I feel that this is saying that it's time for you to teach others on how things can be done differently. Because the Hierophant is usually about conventions, society norms. It's like teachers, mentors, religions. It's things that are organized. It's things that are, you know, by the book type thing. And with it coming out off center, I'm certain that that's saying that you can use your life's experience to help teach others on how they can do things differently, because it is definitely time for a change here. I mean, there's a message about organizations and society here that's come out in a scattered position. I feel that this is also saying that not everyone actually does know what it is that they're doing in life. You know, it's almost like it's saying that we're all just winging it, all of us. You know, just because we're adults, it doesn't mean to say that we know everything about everything, that we know exactly what we're doing. The vast majority of us are still actually just winging it. There's a message here about how it's time for you to go against the conventional norms of society here. What else? What else for our collective, please? Thank you. The Tower, yeah, changing things up. It's a very disruptive energy. It's causing ructions. It's an upheaval. I feel that this is also about a reality check. There's a reality check here. So there's reason for the experiences that you have had to endure in your lifetime here. And it's to do with helping to change up the way that society is doing things currently. What else? Page of Swords. Research. Investigations. That's information. So you can help give others valuable information here that they're needing in order to help society change things up here. And it's going to start with the people who are immediately the closest to you. Okay. Words of encouragement from Spirit, the Six of Wands. Success. You are going to be successful. You are going to achieve what you set your mind and your heart on achieving here. You are going to achieve it. And again, with all the doves, about the messages of peace. I'm also getting the message here about how you're going to be practicing what you preach. There's saying as well, collective, that something that you're doing right now, it is working. It's also going to take time, though. Tell us more about Six of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. Being clear with your communication. Being clear with your intent also. Ten of Wands reversed. Temperance reversed. And the Two of Wands reversed. That's like dropping the burden. Dropping a heavy load. You get disarray and confusion here, and unrealistic expectations. Why is that there? It feels like you're having to deliver truth and reality to those who have unrealistic expectations. They're also warning against any impatience. They're warning against rushing something, like moving too quickly on something. And the Hermit. Introspection, soul searching. A Ten of Coins at the bottom of the deck. Strange read. The Chariot under there. Moving things forward. Willpower. Having the willpower to succeed. So if you're currently in that Five of Wands, Five of Cups energy, where you feel just constantly like you're struggling, not getting anywhere, they're saying here that you are going through trials of strength to do with your willpower, but it feels like all of your other options have been exhausted as well. And you're probably at that point where you're like, well, what else can I do? What else can I try? Because everything I've tried, it hasn't worked. So it feels that this is an exercise in your willpower, in your dedication. How dedicated are you to this thing that you've got your heart and mind set on? You know, it's weird. And it's really weird because I'm not able to pull up any specifics with that energy either. You're definitely being warned against making any decisions through frustration here, though. Okay, Spirit's definitely saying do not make any decisions when your headspace is in a place of frustration. When you make decisions, you need to be coming from a place of clear thinking here. Justice. So your healing message is justice. Let's take a look. This one says, when this card shows up, it means that the scales of justice are present in your life. Yeah, but the problem is at the moment, it feels like the scales have tipped far too much in a direction that is not working for you. It feels like the scales are tipped against you rather than for you, and therein lies the entire problem. If you didn't feel that way, then these two cards would never have come out in your overall energy. So Spirit's saying here that the scales of justice are present in your life. You may have been wronged, or perhaps you have wronged another, or maybe you're a bystander. You could be grappling with an internal moral issue that is plaguing you. Whatever is up for you, it is important that you take a step back. That's not very well written. Whatever is up for you, it is important that you take a step back from emotions and try to view the issue at hand as unbiased as possible. Sometimes perception is not truth, and justice is rooted in truth. In order to find true justice, one must have the whole truth. So that's saying not to work off of any information that isn't complete information. Don't make any decisions based on partial information. If there is anything that you have done that needs to be addressed and aired, then now would be the time for it. If you have been wronged, there is a good chance that things will end up in your favour. Now is not the time to turn a blind eye or chalk up any misdeeds on your part to, quote unquote, the greater good. Okay. Yeah, truth, pragmatism and honesty. So you're feeling that the scales are tipped not in your favour, and then it's like you're probably trying to figure out, well, I've done everything. You know, I thought I was doing something good. And it doesn't help as well the fact that it looks like you're under constant attack of some type here also, which is adding further to that feeling of the scales being tipped too far in the opposite way. I feel that Spirit's saying here, because obviously the scales is really karmic, things are leveling out here. Things are things are being made equal. So what you have to focus on is your outlook, your perceptive, your own contribution to yourself, to your family, to the world, to society. Focus on your own contributions. And everything else in between, Spirit's taking care of. Because you've got the karmic scales here, where something is being forced back into balance because situations have been unfair for the longest of times. And also, yes, that is, for the large part, out of your control. That is out of your hands. You know, that there are going to be some days that are better than others. But ultimately, all of these experiences, it's building up to a much bigger picture here. It's building up to a much bigger picture. One that you're not going to be able to see right now. And Spirit's saying, if there are any feelings of envy or jealousy towards others, you've got to surrender that. Okay? And bearing in mind, you're not being told to ignore your feelings, but what you are being told is don't take action. Like, don't use emotional thinking to make decisions here. With the Emperor and the World hidden under those. Okay? Honor your feelings and emotions. Acknowledge that they're there. Listen to what it is that those feelings, which is probably grief, envy and jealousy, what are those feelings trying to convey to you? That's what you're needing to sit with at the moment. Okay. That's about as clear as what I can make that message. Let's pull you... Oh, I'm just dropping everything on the floor there. Yeah, I'm going to pull you a card from the Shitty deck just to try and uplift that reading, because that was quite depressing. What messages do you have for our collective here, please? Thank you. Okay. Life happens, shit happens. It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to all of the shit thrown your way. Yeah. How you respond is everything. How you respond, that's important. That's what counts. What else? For the collective, please. trust. So you've got the card of tranquility, and it's all about trust. All will turn out well. Everything will fall into place. Peace of mind and tranquility are soon restored. Yeah. Yeah. So what you've been going through, what you've been experiencing, it has not gone unnoticed. It's like the universe is telling you here, you have not been forgotten about. You have not been forgotten about. In spite of how things might look right now, you have not been forgotten about. Everything that you have been doing, everything that you have been trying to achieve here, it has been noted. Peace and tranquility are soon restored. I think there's actually a lot more here that's going on behind the scenes with this situation that none of us actually know about right now. Because this entire message very much felt like it was on a need to know basis. It's like when you need to know what's been going on and how things have transpired the way that they have, you will know. At the moment, you don't need to know. And we're like, yeah, but we kind of want to know. It's just one of those really bizarre readings where it's like really specific yet vague almost at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's a contradiction. Okay. So yeah, if any of that reading came across as being patronising anyway, I can only apologise, okay? That's not the intent. You've got to keep in mind that I'm trying to read the energies as best I can. And I'm trying to pass on the messages as best I can. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys. I just genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful to someone. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you did like it and you're wanting to see more. If you want to book a personal reading with me, then the link to do that you're going to find in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.